Welcome everyone this morning on this beautiful Wadsworth morning. I don't know about you, but I think we've been really, it's been a real treat having great weather over the past couple of weeks. But obviously we're here to celebrate just an exciting, wonderful day. This has been long in coming and something that many of us have been anticipating for some time, and it's just great to be here finally, and so just welcome. Many of you were aware, and maybe some of you even participated in this, but 29 years ago, the community all gathered together to a spot, actually right here, just a little bit to the left of here, was where Kaleidoscope Playground was built. And we love that playground. It was so well used. It was grand. It was huge. People came from all over the place to visit and to see Kaleidoscope Playground, and it served our community well. Obviously it was made of wood. We knew the wood structures had a life expectancy of between 15 to 20 years. We were fortunate to be able to have that structure with us for 29 years, but we knew that the time was shortly coming that we needed to replace it. We also recognized that we didn't want to just replace it with just a plain old playground, but we needed to replace it with something that was equally as grand and something that would be also a destination place. Something that our community could be proud of, something that our children, our grandchildren would love to come and be here, and this is exactly what has occurred. We've had wonderful feedback so far, and we hope that each of you enjoy this playground as much as we have. We are thrilled with it, and we're excited that it's come to this part. We're not done, obviously, and in fact it looks a little bit like a war zone on the outside of the fencing, but we just couldn't wait to make sure that all of you had the opportunity to enjoy it. There's more to come. You probably have heard that a splash pad will be coming in, and that's going to be back here. We have pavilions, we have restrooms coming. Yes, restrooms. Some new sidewalks, the parking lots will be reworked, and obviously our courts have recently been completed as well. So this will truly be a destination area, and all this will connect also with the Safety Town Village, which is right behind the fire station. So this whole area will truly be a destination, and we are excited that the community is going to be enjoying this very now and into the future. Obviously, a project of this nature, of this size, took a tremendous number of individuals collaborating together, working together to come to have this. And at this time, I'm going to turn some time over to Matt Hiscock. Matt Hiscock is our safety director, but he's actually wearing two hats. He's also our interim service director, and I will tell you, he has been doing a tremendous job. This playground would not be here right now if it wasn't for his driving force efforts, for his expertise, and for his knowledge. We are truly fortunate to have him with us in the city, and I just couldn't thank him enough, and am appreciative of his efforts. So without any further ado, we'll turn some time over to Matt.
Thank you for those kind words, Rob. You know, a project of this nature is truly a team effort, and this project is an example of great teamwork. I think I want to start with just a brief remark, so bear with me, about playgrounds. You know, growing up in a major metropolitan city where you don't see a lot of green, often playgrounds were always near and dear to my heart. It's a place where you come, you learn, you explore, you meet new people, from different parts of your community. You get to be a kid, something I think that we all cherish and have fond memories of. And playgrounds are where that happens. You know, for a community like Wadsworth, playgrounds have all of those meanings together, but are oftentimes not thought of when you talk about public infrastructure and the importance of those aspects. You know, it's easy to look behind me at the fire station and understand the value of that particular public infrastructure project to our community. What we miss out on is the value of a kaleidoscope over time, a value of a destination playground over time. So it has truly been my honor to be a part of this particular project, and I hope that it contributes to a lifetime of memories for children, for families, right in our backyard. It's an amazing thing to have an entertainment feature like this for families so close to home. So thanks for bearing with me on my playground remarks there. As I started with, a project of this nature takes a team to make it happen. You know, I want to speak to a couple of the areas in the city that contributed to the creation of this playground. departments that you might not always think of. The communications division, you know, we had some communication elements in this particular area that needed relocated. We had a knowledge and a need for cameras in this particular area. The communications division jumped right in. We're able to relocate some of those cameras that exist today and help us with some of those utilities. The electric division came out immediately and started to relocate some utilities that were located in this particular area. You know, they also did a lot of work. If you remember, there were lights on the ball field behind us. You know, they were able to move those, save those, so hopefully we can use them in future projects. Obviously, the Parks Division, they were heavily involved in many different aspects of the project, from clearing the site to continuing to water plants that are here and part of the particular project. Street Division, extremely important. They worked hand in hand with the Parks Division in removing lots of the site work items. You know, there was many things that had to be removed from the site before we even got it started. We were able to save dollars and become efficient by using some of our departments to do that work. So just a tremendous team effort by many departments in the city. We also had other partners to make this happen. Obviously, we are not experts in either the design or construction of playgrounds, so we leaned on several different partners, and I'm happy that some of those partners either have bases here in Wadsworth or are Wadsworth-based companies, so I want to mention those folks. Before I get there, I want to talk and say thank you to Jeremy and Elise for their work as designers on the project, and the whole team from OHM. They were just tremendous to work with. You know, I came into this project sort of after some of the visioning had been done, after some of the planning had been done, but it was wonderful to learn from those individuals, and I think you see the results of their expertise. So thank you to all of those folks. I want to say thank you to one of those Wadsworth-based companies, Collins Excavating. They really cleared the site for us. They did a lot of the work here. Josh and his team were an amazing group under an expedited timeline to work with. And without them and their prompt attention to our project, we wouldn't be standing here right now with this opening. Want to say thank you to Play World and LSI. They manufacture much of the equipment you find on our particular playground. They coordinated with us. They worked with us on delivery items. They came and did some expertise in some of the installations. Just a wonderful group of individuals to work with and be a part of. Certainly want to say thank you to Mid-States Recreation. They're the folks who actually did the installation. Those are who we contracted with for many aspects, if not all aspects of the actual installation. You know, Blake and his team were on site frequently and did wonderful work. They were just great to work with. I want to also thank a very important person who's standing in the back today. You know, Robin, we could never get him to stand with us, but standing in the back. And that's Assistant Service Director John Bellack. He was really the boots on the ground. John, raise your hand and be acknowledged. Really, you know, it's easy for me up here to give you nice remarks and talk about the wonderful collaboration between different vendors and parties and designers on this project, but John was boots on the ground. He essentially was the project manager for us here. When others are dealing with things in the office or City Hall, John's down here talking to contractors. John's down here making decisions, helping come from paper and design to fruition, because there's always questions and things that come up in a project. And John, I can't thank you enough for your efforts. This is truly a part of what you've done. You should be very, very proud. And I think with that, I'll close my remarks. Thank you for being here today, and I hope it brings wonderful memories for all of us for a long time to come.
We have a few other individuals that we need to make sure that we mention and thank. One individual in particular, and he happens to be here, Mr. Robert Patrick. Robert was our service director previously, and he put in countless hours in the pre as well as during the design phase of this particular playground. And what's wonderful is he has a little one that is going to be enjoying this playground for many, many years to come. So that does my heart good. But thank you, Robert, for all your time and effort on this. Robert also was instrumental, and actually he formed the focus group that we relied upon to help us, to give us some additional ideas and thoughts as far as the design for this playground. So for example, I'm sitting here, I'm a grandma now, and I don't frequent playgrounds quite as much, but we needed to rely upon others that did, because we wanted to know what features that kids would really enjoy and what nuances about playgrounds and so forth that they thought would be neat to be able to include in this design. And so I'd like to thank, and please, if you're here, raise your hand. I saw a couple of you already, but if you're here, I'd like to thank the following individuals. Judy Roth, and I know she's not here. She was a grandma, but she's a frequenter of playgrounds. She was instrumental. Jessica Stevenson, Lauren Powell, Kristen Cole, Lisa Moore, Lisa Little, and Lauren Karamis. Oh, those arms weren't up high enough. Raise them up higher, but thank you so much for your time and effort, because we truly did enjoy those comments, and they meant a lot. I'd also like to just thank, in general, the citizens of Wadsworth. My goodness, obviously this is going to be a community asset, something that's going to be enjoyed forever from our citizens, but you are here to support, your tax dollars support this effort, and we're just grateful for your support of this effort. We received a lot of comments, a lot of thoughts and ideas along the way, and we're just very appreciative to you as well. And lastly, I wanted to thank a special group, and we have several here, and that's our city council members. We saw Jeannie here, and I know Dave's here. Is there any other council members that are here? I want to make sure. Oh, and Tom Stepmeyer, of course. Tom is always here because he's doing once again double hats, because not only does he is a service council member, but he's very helpful with all this fancy equipment up here. So thank you. So Jeannie and Tom and Dave. Council members are very, very important in projects such as this, because you can have the greatest ideas in the world, and I just realized I have my sunglasses on, sorry about that. You can have the greatest idea in the world as far as, hey, we need to build a playground, but you need the funding for that. And so this really truly becomes a collaborative effort, and City Council was right there along the way on this effort. They knew the importance of this project. They knew how important it was to the community. They recognized the importance of making it a grand area, to making it a destination area, and they were very supportive of it. The other thing that they did is I thought was pretty neat. We were planning on getting this phase one, this basically the destination playground as well as the courts. We were planning on getting that done this year. But there's more to come, as I had mentioned. And they said, you know what, let's just do it. We have the funding for it, and it's important for us to have, instead of disrupting this area for ongoing, let's get this done. And so we are going to continue this construction process, and so that by the time spring comes, everything should be done, and we're all going to be happy about it, and we're all going to be excited and playing on it. But that's the type of support that we receive, so I'm very, very grateful for that. At this time, I'd like to turn just a few moments over to our Council President, Dave Williams, to say a few remarks as well.
Well, we prepared quite a few remarks, but the mayor and Mr. Hiscock has pretty much covered everything, so I just wanted to thank a few people, and I'd like to start with a very strong group of women back after World War II who went to the Blue Tip Match Company and got them to donate this land that this park sits on. You know, it was instrumental, and if it wasn't for those strong women, I don't know where we'd be today. So I would like to give special thanks to the administration, the mayor, Matt Hiscock, for everything you've done. Back in, well, it would have been about April of 2021, seeing the need for our parks, we started a Parks Committee in the council with their approval. I got a group of strong business leaders, visionaries, consisting of Debbie Bard, Ronnie Leatherman, Stuart Lee, Tom Strong, John Murachuk, Susan Williams. We started having meetings. After the first meeting, it was decided we really need to hear from the community. So Tom Strong put a survey together and went live within 24 hours. And we had nearly 1,000 responses. Some of the things you see today is from what your input was to us, what you would like to have in your parks. I would also like to thank City Council again for seeing that vision through, working with the many meetings, the very many committee meetings, to get this done. I'd like to thank the focus group for the input from the mothers whose kids are playing on this playground today. You know, your thoughts and were very important and reflect in your vision and your feelings of what the park should be. Lastly, I want to thank City Council again. They're a very family-friendly council. You look at the things that are happening in the community, reach out and talk to them. We have Ward 1, Ralph Copley, John Urachek in Ward 2, Dee Hines Ward 3, David Parrish in Ward 4. At large, we have Dan Rosberg, Susan Hanlon, and Tom Stugmeyer. Share your thoughts with them. Let them know what you think. Again, you'll find them very family-friendly community. The best ideas you can ever find to do projects is from talking to our community members, reaching across the table and hearing what they have to say. So I thank everybody in the community for that. In closing, enjoy the playground. It gives me a great joy to watch kids having fun again in the playground. Thank you.
As you all recognized, there is a matchstick theme to this playground. When it's done, you'll be coming in another area, and that will be the matchstick area, and there's another feature as well. And that came about through our focus group, but also just recognizing, and Dave actually alluded to it, that we're standing on some pretty special ground. And I didn't even realize this until later years. But this property, Memorial Park, was actually property that was dedicated or donated by the Ohio Match Company. And so we have so many Ohio match roots. We have the Blue Tip Festival, the Blue Tip Parade, and of course our community unmatched and our city logo. We have a lot of history that we give a nod to throughout our community, even to this day. And so it seemed very fitting that we had a little bit of a theme going on as far as our playground was concerned. So then we thought, well, we got to name this thing. We don't know what to name it. And we thought this would be something that would be good to get a lot of input from the community. And so a survey was put out recently that had some suggestions, some ideas that we had heard from individuals. And then we also gave opportunity for anybody to give additional ideas that would see if anything really took hold. And so that survey was finished last Friday, and we've combined and looked at the tallies here. And so I will say that the name that had the most votes and generated the most input was Blue Tip Park. So not surprising, Blue Tip Park. So now we have a new name for our park, the Blue Tip Park, and we will now have a ribbon cutting for our newly finished and newly named playground. So what we'd love to do is have a ribbon cutting with everybody, every single person here and everybody else that wants to join in. And what we're going to do is just have you turn around.
Go. All right. Very good.
Welcome, everyone. This is historical for us because we've never had two ribbon cutting grand openings in a matter of minutes. Raise your hand. Did all of you attend the other one? Or anybody? Okay, so everybody's already heard the majority of our remarks, so we won't make this lengthy or get too much into it because obviously many of the same individuals were involved, but we certainly wanted to also have and mark really the excitement that we have for opening up these new courts, these two new pickleball courts and two new tennis courts, and we couldn't be more thrilled. Many of you were excuse me, in attendance a week and a half ago. We had the ribbon cutting for the courts over at Durling, and certainly they couldn't be more well used, and everybody's excited about it, and I drive by frequently and see just everybody having such a wonderful, wonderful time. Thank you. So I wanted to once again give an opportunity to have Matt Hiscock give a few words because, as I mentioned, he's been the driving force behind all of this, and we would not have been able to get to this point without him. So without any further ado.
Thank you again, Robin. So I will be brief. This particular project, and again, this whole Memorial Park improvement was a multi-layered idea and project from day one. What was really exciting to me about the courts aspect of the project was I think it was obvious to many of us at the city that the courts were not being utilized to the level that we would have loved to see them utilized. So whenever you refresh a space, I think that comes with the excitement of use, and that comes with the excitement of getting people back into whether it be tennis or really obviously the popularity of pickleball, having another great location to host those kinds of plays and activity, all of those things, just wonderful. On this particular project, a little bit different than on the Destination Playground, our engineering department took a key leading component in making sure all the way from the bidding process and the awarding of the contract, all the way through the inspection services and making sure that the building and the construction of this particular court complex went as smooth as possible. So I want to say thank you to all of the hard-working folks in our engineering department who really put a lot of time and effort in these court spaces. So with that, I'll hand it back to the mayor.
Thank you so much. As I mentioned, I know all of you have already heard many of the comments, but I would also like to thank so many others that we'd already said, but I will just say them again. And I'm looking right at, we have a lot of council members here. Once again, they saw the vision of the importance of improving these courts and providing this as a total complex of this particular area. So I'm very, very grateful to them for their support and for the benefit of working together collaboratively to make sure that a project is well funded and that we're able to do it in a timely manner. We had some quick turnaround times throughout the process. There's always hiccups when you have a construction process, but what's different in a public process is the regulatory process, I guess you should say. And we certainly did need their support throughout this, and they saw the vision and they acted, had special meetings to accommodate things, and so very, very grateful to them. So Dave Williams, President of Council, as well as other council members here, thank you so much for that. We also wanted to turn some time over to some special groups here that are here today. Obviously, the beneficiaries of this will be our pickleball groups and our tennis groups, and so without any further ado, I'd like to turn some time over to Callie. We're going to have her speak on behalf of tennis. Thank you for coming today and tell us a little bit about what tennis group thinks about all this.
Thanks, Mary. Hi, my name is Callie Schutte, and I only found the Wadsworth Women's Tennis League this year. I played tennis on and off my whole life, and I think any tennis and now pickleball player will agree with me that there's nothing better than a nice tennis court, free of weeds and cracks, especially with lights over top. Playing together with these women one night a week is so special. I've already formed friendships with these women. It's just, we are so blessed as a league and a community to have these beautiful courts. So thank you to everyone who put the time, effort, money into creating them. And on a personal level, I'll be able to play tennis over here, and my boys will play at that amazing park right over there. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Callie. And you really do bring up a good point, because you know, one thing could have been is, hey, we put all the courts in one area and then that's it. But it really does make sense to have things spread out a little bit at times, because then it can accommodate different individuals, different groups, and for different purposes at different times. And so thank you. I'm excited for that to happen. We have another special group here today, and that's our pickleball group. If you were there a week and a half ago, Nancy Padillion was honored by the pickleball players, because she really brought pickleball to Wadsworth. 6 years ago, it wasn't really here. We'd heard a little bit of buzz. I heard a few people talking a little bit about it, but Nancy was the one that made sure that we all knew about pickleball. And she was passionate about making sure that somehow it was accommodated, and so I'll let her tell you a little bit about it. But and my goodness, talk about dedicated, because here she is on the mend, and she's willing to come to speak to us today. So here you go, Nancy.
Always willing to talk about pickleball. Always. Well, I don't have to say a whole lot more than what was said a week and a half ago, but yes, it definitely was a dream, a passion. I know City Council got awfully tired of seeing me and hearing me and
Never.
thank you, talking about how much pickleball is loved and the growing sport, and it was just, our club started with 12 and now we're over 1,200, and that's just those who are on Facebook. So thank you for including our club in the planning and what we needed, what we wanted to see. You took it a step further, and you went first class all the way. We have the nicest pickleball courts anywhere around us. And Robin kept telling me, be patient, Nancy, it's coming. Well, it was hard to be patient, but it's first class. And I thank you, council members, for funding this, for agreeing that we needed pickleball. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, John. I worked a lot with Patrick. Thank you. Robert Patrick, right, yes. But thank you so much. And this is on behalf of the entire Wadsworth Pickleball Club.
Thank you, Nancy. Well, now I think it's time to cut one more ribbon. One more
We'll do
ribbon.
a couple posts here, just a second. All right, everybody right here. 3, 2, 1. Let me do one more. 3, 2, 1. All right, if you're ready to cut it. All right. Yes. Go ahead.
1, 2, 3.
All right. Very good.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.